Hello, hello. Welcome. Good evening. My name is Seth Malcolm. I'm part of Core Services Engineering inside of Microsoft. And what we do is provide all the services and infrastructure that powers Microsoft. So we are the internal IT team. We do have a booth over there, so please feel free to visit afterwards and say hi. There's a bunch of other folks from my team there. And my team specifically is part of IT Showcase. And what we do is publish content like webinars, presentation decks, white papers, case studies about how we use technology inside of Microsoft to run Microsoft. Today I'm going to talk about how we're using Intune to manage our Windows 10 ecosystem of devices. Hopefully something that most of you are interested in. If you're not, feel free to take off. So you've seen a ton of announcements here at Ignite this year. Brad Anderson talked about a lot of things that are changing in terms of licensing for Intune, so maybe that's why some of you guys are here, to see what that's all about and how it may work for you. The other big one is, of course, Microsoft Endpoint Manager. So I'm not going to go in depth in that. There is a booth over there that can talk you through kind of what that looks like. This session I'm really just going to focus on how we're using Intune, how we're migrating all of our Windows 10 device management over to Intune from System Center Configuration Manager. So again, migration, foundational components. So what do we have to think about and what do we have to put in place so that we were confident that we could manage our large Windows 10 device ecosystem with Intune and other tools? How we are initiating this migration through our new PC device experience autopilot, and then what's next, and updates. So to set some context, this is the internal view of sort of what Microsoft looks like from an infrastructure perspective. We've got around 135,000 employees. The ones relevant here, 420K devices managed via Intune. So you can do the math, everybody has quite a few devices. So those are a combination of Windows 10 desktops, Android, iOS devices. Down here, 40K is where we're at in terms of modern management today. So those are 40K Windows 10 devices that are Azure AD joined. So they're not joined to our domain controllers. And then we still have 240,000 domain joined devices. So those represent those in a co-management state I'll talk about in a second that are still managed using SCCM. So what's the difference, or why should it make any difference between SCCM and Intune or modern management versus legacy? And Brad again talked about this. Take a look at his blog post to describe what Microsoft sees as modern management today. But really it's an on-premise or even cloud-based Azure IaaS infrastructure for System Center versus cloud services like Intune. High level of control. So we thought we needed this. We did need this. We were sort of placating our users in the past with a high level of control implemented by group policy to control every little aspect of a desktop. What we found is, number one, that creates a ton of overhead for IT to manage all of those group policy settings. It creates a slower environment for users to boot up and get a new PC. Whereas with Intune, we're simplifying our process by managing all devices with a single interface or a single tool. In addition, we've been using Intune for some time to handle the BYOD personal device situation. So it just makes sense for us to migrate to a completely modern space where we just use Intune for all of our device management. So aside from just wanting to adopt, the newest and best products that Microsoft has inside, we actually have some really important initiatives that this is helping us to achieve. So inside of Microsoft, we're really trying to work with remote users. So we have a distributed population. They work at home, they work in branch locations, and we're moving to a wireless first and internet first environment. That means we're decommissioning our internal private CorpNet network at Microsoft. So within some of our headquarters sites, development sites, we'll still have a corporate network, but for our 500 plus branch offices, we're going to remove that private network and get rid of all that telco infrastructure we're paying for. So this helps enable that just from the fact of the internet-based management tools that Intune provides. Server retirements, SCCM servers, for example. So co-management, that's where we're at today. Just like hopefully many of you are, and maybe that's what you're thinking about today. but it's a combination, and I won't over-explain this, but a connection between SCCM and Intune to allow you to manage across both of those environments, devices that can mix and match and have a basic ownership between the two. It involves setting up a cloud management gateway. If you haven't done that yet, take a look at that. That's what allows the communication between Configuration Manager and Intune out in the Azure space. So we're doing this in phases. This is not a one-time event for us, and I don't think it should be for customers, at least at this point. When we started, we did a proof of concept, mostly with folks that are inside the IT department or inside the product engineering groups that are creating these tools. And we did that because there isn't a direct parity on the Windows device side between System Center and Intune in a lot of cases. We had to really understand how MDM settings would affect device behavior and all the things that we knew for a long time and how group policy worked for System Center. So we started with a proof of concept with a small number of devices, lower than 1% really, and then started to move up to what we called the foundational stage. So this is what we've been working on for the past 12 months or so, is identifying all the pieces, again, that we need to be comfortable that are available in Intune in our modern management system to provide security and accessibility and management for all these devices. So a big part of that is understanding what our group policy looked like. We had over 1,500 group policy objects or policies in place, and it was essentially an archaeology project of trying to understand, like, where did these come from, who created them, what did they do, was this for some pilot program that we had 7 years ago and they wanted to check some specific scenario on a group of user PCs. So a lot of work happened in that space, and it's really to get to the point where we are today, which is sort of between these two, in transitioning to full modern. So that's where we've just implemented in the last couple weeks our autopilot project where we're working with OEMs for all new devices coming in will be set up for autopilot, and all those devices will directly go to modern management and Azure AD join. From there, it's just a matter of waiting through our PC recycle process, which is about 3 years for devices inside of Microsoft to reach 100% modern management. So at this point, we have the intent of decommissioning our SCCM infrastructure, not because it's still a viable product, but because of all the other things that I still talked about earlier. So like I said, the majority of work happened with these foundational components. So installing Defender ATP and configuring it for a couple things. Application control. So if you remember or are familiar with App Blocker, application control is its equivalent in Defender. And that's how we control which applications can and can't be run on devices inside the Microsoft network or inside the environment. And right now we're using, there's sort of a whitelist or a blacklist concept within there. Right now we have a blacklist concept. We're trying to decide what that's going to look like in the future, meaning a whitelist blocking concept means that we only allow the apps that are listed there. Blacklist means we just block those. So that was sort of a foundational component from the security team of what needed to be there. Next was setting up policy. So MDM settings within Intune are the basis of modern management. So rather than trying to convert all of our group policy objects into MDM settings, we actually started from scratch. So we took the Windows Security Baseline, which is published and you can take a look at it yourself and import it into your Intune profiles. We took that, looked at what our security team required from a control perspective, and just started from there. There are tools out there, this MMAT evaluation tool. So look it up. We published on GitHub. It's a tool you can use that pulls down configuration manager policies from any device that's joined to your domain and basically translates those into Intune MDM settings, okay? So that's a way that it automatically does a translation for you. What we found was, again, back to we didn't understand where all those came from. This is a great opportunity to clean house and understand, you know, are we too restrictive on a lot of policies? Do we have this in place for no reason? And it's been a great activity for us to cleanse our environment and understand, you know, what are the actual controls we need and how do we not get in the way of users being productive? So a test environment. That's important again because you want to take a look at what the impact of placing these settings on devices are, right? For us, we were early in this process. We've been using Intune since before it was released. So we worked through a lot of bugs that hopefully you will never see. But our team that manages policy set up a test environment with a test tenant for Intune, devices that were only joined to that tenant, and went through configuring this for a device that would be used as a user so that they could validate policies that worked. And there's some missing. So within Intune, you can create custom settings using URIs. And the trick with those is, again, with that test environment, you need to see how that affects the device. So it's something that's not by default in the Intune setting list for device management, for example. You want to create something, you have the capability to do that. What we found is there's certain policies or settings we've set that don't unset when that device is removed from management. So keep an eye on that when you're writing directly to registry and things like that. Some of that can stay around and cause issues later down the line if you move to a different management agent or something like that. So Windows Update for Business, we've moved, there's a case study here. Like I said, Microsoft.com/IT Showcase. We've published this on our migration to Windows Update for Business. We've been doing Windows updates for as long as Windows has been along. And basically, we've moved all of our infrastructure, gotten rid of our WSUS servers, and moved completely to Windows Update for Business. Huge benefits there. I mean, the biggest one really for us is the reduction in bandwidth using the delivery optimization. So it's a peer-to-peer, if you're not familiar, it's a peer-to-peer sharing protocol that lets devices in a certain region or a location that are on the same network share updates, so everyone's not downloading the same feature update or Windows update. So this is kind of part of monitor management, but not necessarily required for moving over to Intune. This is another way to provide updates that allows you to have still some control, but empowers users a little more. So it gives them a better experience in terms of delaying updates, but also a better experience from the Intune side on the administrator, the IT side, in producing updates not only just for Windows, but for all the applications that you're managing as well. So I mentioned autopilot. So this is the mechanism we're using to roll out our modern management initiative. So if you're not familiar, just search Windows Autopilot. There's tons of info out there, but it's operated through Intune. And what it does is provides basically the out-of-box or OOBE experience for your corporate users. When you think about what the new device experience is for someone that buys a PC from Best Buy, it's vastly different from one set up in a corporate environment using SCCM, okay? From the IT side, we're spending a ton of time creating new images. For us, luckily at Microsoft, we just have a standard image, whereas a lot of our customers we find that might work in the manufacturing industry, retail industry, have separate images and profiles for all the different user types they have. Even for us, it's a huge time commitment to maintaining these images, updating them, and it takes a long time to get to the OEM, a new version of the image, which then in turn takes even longer to get to the end user, and by the time that happens, there are many updates out of place. So Autopilot is one of the simplest things that I've seen released lately. It's set up in the Intune portal. You basically turn it on, you set up specific profiles, and you can have multiple ones. It's got 3 user experiences to it. It's got basically an automated setup for things like kiosks or signs that require very little interaction from the user. A new one is the white glove service, which basically breaks down the new PC setup routine into 2 pieces. One that's delivered by the IT pro, so you or your IT manager receives the device, they set up some basic settings. When the person sets it up, all they have to do is enter their username and choose their region and keyboard. And then the other one is user-driven. So that's the model that we're going with, which means they have a very small number of steps that they have to take, and it's less than 10 minutes. So they get a new PC, they open it up, they turn it on, within 10 minutes they're productive. Now, what they're productive with is a fresh OS direct from Microsoft through the OEM, right? They don't have your custom apps yet, but they can get in there, they can launch Windows, they can get into Office, they can look at their email within 10 minutes, right? After that, Intune is going to go through and automatically deploy all the policies and settings you've set to the device. It's going to be automatically joined to Azure AD, and then it's going to push down all the applications that you've chosen for that profile user. So they end up at the same state, but they're productive right away, and it removes all that overhead from the IT Pro side and the OEM side. So what have we learned along the way? Like I said, it's a journey. There isn't an exact migration tool right now. Autopilot's the best one that we have at the moment. There isn't a button that you click to go to modern management. But like I said, I think it's a great opportunity to evaluate the levels of controls that you've got from your PC management sort of enterprise and think about what do you really need. Like I said, we had 1,500 ourselves. That's probably high, hopefully, for our customers. When we started to sort of work through though, there was probably 200 to 300 that were actually legitimate, that should be applied across all devices. One click down, we probably ended up with about 100 MDM settings that we actually had to set, and then some of those being custom URIs. So again, it's a process. You determine what the best on-ramp to that is, whether it's new PC refresh, whether it's going out and bulk updating users and onboarding through Autopilot. Group management using Active Directory can be challenging. So, Azure Active Directory. So within Azure Active Directory, there are some challenges in self-service in terms of people joining security groups. So where this comes into play is when you're planning deployments through Intune. So within that, you're going to choose Azure Active Directory security groups and say, I want to build this deployment ring for this number of devices that sit in this security group. You're going to have to think about the process of how you create those, how you manage those rings, how you get users and devices in and out of them. The management extensions. So this is for updating third-party apps or non-64-bit apps in some cases. They have to be AAD joined. While co-management does provide a safety net while you're in between, you're going to get the most benefit by moving more and more of the control over to Intune. As was announced, the Microsoft Endpoint Manager is going to build more data intelligence on top of those two systems and allow you to access basically controls for both of those. And you can stay co-management forever. So we've been doing it for several years now. We anticipate, at least for the next 3 years, that we'll be in that same state. There's no huge rush to do this. I think the benefits you really get just from turning on Intune and starting to look at it is the data and analysis and AI that's available, looking across your environment, and it's really going to light up as more of these features start to trickle in from SCCM up into the Endpoint Manager. All right. Thank you for joining today. Really appreciate it. Please put in a evaluation if you don't mind, and I'll be right here for questions, and I can point you over to our booth if you have more. Thank you very much.